Hi, Pisces. It's Angela. We are going to do kind of a little extra reading for June, sort of wrap the month up for us. And it's gonna be a quick little reading like most of them are, but we're gonna see what we can tune into here as we move further into the summer months. Okay, the oracle card that I pulled for you guys is coming from this deck, the Healing Mantra. It is Matt Kahn's deck. If you follow him, he's a beautiful teacher and can, the cards here, the way that he's designed them, they really get to the point. There's just a very simple energy focus, and then a reminder of how some of these energies get us stuck and what we can do to clear them and heal. Okay, so your card that I got, Pisces, is Unraveling Co-Dependency. So this is on a few levels. It's first of all, it's kind of helping you to declare, the choices I make. It's really just me that has to feel good about that, right? That there's someone else giving their input and kind of maybe energetically blocking you from proceeding or from taking something on, then that is something for you to sort of be on the alert for. Once you start to really create a distance and separate and sort of unravel that inner, in that entanglement that we have with others sometimes, once we start to create that distance, we realize, oh, it's much easier to move about and follow the flow and what's divinely guided for me with that, entanglement kind of loosened up. And then what you also start to realize is when the other or another has an uprising in their life, or even has a strong emotional reaction to one of your choices, you get to realize, okay, that's just the point they are at on their journey, and they're not really, they're just not able to right now to see how truly separate we all are. As much as we're all connected, the persona and our ego and the person that walks around on this planet and makes choices is super independent, right? And even though we're all connected energetically and spiritually, we don't have to let others dictate our choices, right? That's kind of it's really tricky when it's in a family situation or in a love relationship. It's a little tricky because we want to, please the other and that, but ultimately the most you can do to honor anyone, and the most anyone can do to honor you, is to allow you the space to make your decisions and also experience the result or the consequence of all of your decisions, and then, figure out how to pick up and get back down the road. Okay, let's get to the Zen cards. So you have here, Pisces, let me get that as your starting point. So we have starting point, inner energies, external manifestation, the key to moving forward, and then here's our forward level, okay, our higher level. All right, so your starting card is intensity. So yeah, if you have a situation like this in your life that is super codependent, and there's sort of like no action is taken without the others, I wouldn't go so far as to say approval, but without the others' acknowledgement that your choice was good and right and, for the best of everyone, there could be some discomfort within you that is starting to see, hey, you know what, I need to be able to just make a couple decisions here on my own and without anyone's commentary. I don't need the feedback all the time, right? So this could be where some of you are right now with this sort of intense interaction with another. If you're not, then keep in mind this spread and this guidance for the future, for when something does kind of ramp up and get to be a little difficult to manage. Internally, look at this within you, projections. This is exactly what's going on here. This is codependency in its finest. We have, the inner being that knows we want to make a decision or that feels a certain way, and then we have the face we put on to project it, and the others do too. So sometimes there's 4 beings or 4 energetic entities, involved in a situation between 2 people because of what's going on within and what I'm projecting out. And then if I'm uncomfortable within, I may project out to you that you need to make a change so that I feel more comfortable, right? Well, that kind of doesn't make any sense, right? Otherwise, we'd be bending to everyone's will all the time and never making choices on our own. So internally, you're getting this. You're starting to get, okay, my choices are autonomous. The choices I make, I consider others, but I'm not making those choices for others, right? There's a difference. So getting to this point of realization, as intense as it may seem, as it may become at times, is an important first step in order to begin to unravel that codependent vibe. Okay, externally in your external world, well, look what it does. It just totally messes with your mind, your choices, your clarity, your will to proceed down your own path is clouded. Look at that, it's on fire. It's on fire because, well, the intensity probably caught it on fire, right? That card's sitting right next to it. But yeah, this is, now I'm not saying that all of you are feeling this intensity right now, but there are a lot of energies going around, in the skies that have people a little bit, there's a lot of old stuff being sort of excavated from down within and being brought out. There's some transitions going on with a lot of people. I credit that eclipse we had at the end of May, the effects of it are, it could go on for months as far as stuff getting pulled up and out and then dealing with the aftermath. And this is okay. This is kind of what we need in order to clear our path proceeding forward. So your starting point here, Pisces, the place that you either are occupying or have the potential to, as far as the codependency with another, it's very clear that continuing that, first of all, there needs to be a separation. The choices I make are not about anyone but me and my path. And when it starts to get clouded that way and others start to, show up and give their opinion, it clouds everything else in your mental experience, and even your intuition can get clouded. Okay, so now we have the key to moving forward here is go with the flow. Easier said than done sometimes, right? Because if we're coming from this, like, who's going to really just drop to, oh, okay, let me just find some ease, right? But it is something that could happen incrementally. We could little by little start to think, okay, maybe start with the little decisions, with the little choices. If you're in a relationship that's chronically codependent, then, I would say start with the little things, like, I don't know, say you come home every night from work at 4:45 and you're always showing up, it's very predictable. And then there's one evening when, oh, I'm going to stop and do some shopping. I'll be home at 5:15. If that codependent person like flips out, oh my gosh, what are you doing? That's what, this is a very lighthearted example, but that, things like that can happen. What you want to do is kind of go, you know what? Yeah, sorry. I just, decided to go to the store, and then just drop it and leave it. There doesn't have to be the engaging of the defense and the attacks, and that doesn't have to go on. So little by little, start to just sort of let go of responses from others and let it be their response. Maybe even creates a space of silence after the response, and allow for that energy to move on its own without you having to jump in and defend or interact and keep that entanglement alive, right? If that makes sense. So learning little by little to kind of just drop off the game, step to the side, pull over to the side of the road for a second. That will help to get yourself up to the next level here of awareness, which I'm loving so far. Oh my gosh. Okay. So in the center and the sort of the landing point, after we have all this intensity and the realization that we need to disentangle from certain connections and certain expectations from others. Once we realize that and start to kind of just create a little more ease each time this thing arises or this kind of an interaction arises, you get to a point where you realize, okay, I did, like, my work is done. And, at least on that level, I was able to change the outcome and shift the way we both feel in the aftermath of intense situation. See how the puzzle piece here on that figure is going into the third eye. This is an intuitive knowing that I made this shift. It changed the dynamic, and that is for a good thing. It is for a good, for the better. And I accomplished that. And now I have a pattern, or I have a template that I can use if this comes up again, right? Internally supported by this feeling of the sense of accomplishment, basically, is your inner voice. And that's another intuitive card. This is, that figure that's stemming from this figure is right there on their third eye. And then of course the crown is wide open to receive, so that you're opening up the channels basically, by just making this little change in the way you react to this codependent situation. Little shift creates, a whole new space to operate from. Little by little, if you do it in increments, like I said, you start to really notice the change. And then in your external position here, we see beyond illusion. So this is just complete transformation, right? This is the butterfly and another third eye. Oof. All of these on this level. First, you come from this cloudy mind where we couldn't, like, I don't even have any guidance because I'm so overwhelmed by acknowledging everything everyone expects of me, right? And then we have this clarity after we learn to make a shift. Our third eye and our intuition, our sense of knowing deep inside what's right for us is electrified. It's like opened up, channels are open, and we are ready to proceed on our own path in the divine direction that we feel guided. And then hopefully those other people that we used to be entangled with, are along for the ride as well. But I want to make clear too, this is not a severing of a connection. So yeah, if you have a connection that's a little codependent, it doesn't mean you have to throw, toss it away and kind of say, I'm done with you or whatever. It could be just an adjustment, just one little shift, and get a new response, and then continue to grow and, work things out between you from there on. So that's just one way. If we want to see a change in the way we're interacting with someone or in the way things are manifesting, it can start within us. We can create a little change, right? And for you, Pisces, that change, it's resulting in like some major, clear channels as far as your intuition and just your inner knowing of what's best for you. That just starts to open wide up. Then you have, two separate beings, no longer codependent, but still in each other's experience, still in the vicinity, and as you each make choices, they're honored by the other, right? Without the criticism, without the fearful responses that come. Okay. All right, Pisces. I hope that was good for you guys. I'll see you again soon. I'll be posting some July readings probably in about a week or so. And that's it. I hope your summer's going well so far. And I love you guys. Take care.